Here we go then. Shaun Chipperfield and Jez Graham may well feel they've not done a huge... No way. No way. No way. No way. Shaun Chipperfield. What's he doing to us? Golden break number 3.
There's no winner's part for
What a reaction.
The thing is, I don't think he, I know it sounds strange because obviously you win the frame, you want it, but he didn't really get going in the last match because he had 2 golden breaks to win 2 of his 3 frames. He wants to get going, wants to build up a rhythm, and obviously he's happy he won the frame, but that's not how he wants to win it.
I mean, that is extraordinary. That's what? 3 out of his last 5 or 3 out of his last 4?
Yeah, 3 out of his... what did he have in the last one? He had 4 breaks.
4 breaks,
so 3 out of the last
4 breaks.
We saw 4 in 8 by Josh Kane once and 3 in 1 match, and he lost that match. It doesn't necessarily work out well for you. You kind of don't... You feel a little bit sheepish and you lose your rhythm a little bit, but you take the win.
Jez doesn't get the late ball kicked into the corner pocket.
Look at this. This is not inviting at all.
Yeah, this isn't nice.
The only saving grace, and we'll see this ball come down and bump the 8 ball. The 8 ball doesn't sit over the pocket like I thought it was going to originally. So at least that pocket has, you can access it. But that's where the good news ends. The red and yellow on the right-hand side are horrible. I think Shaun should just turn this table over.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Jez is the sort of player, I often wonder whether players play the player or they play the table, but Jez is that sort of player where if you're Shaun, you'd be tempted to play the player here and maybe dangle the carrot a little bit, try and give Jez a low percentage finish to go at. Jez wants to be aggressive, wants to take something on. Take it on. Problem is, you can play the red straight, you can play the red off the 8 ball, but I don't know whether he can get into the other 2 reds. Could he play the red off the reds, then use the 8 ball or just direct? That's what he's going to try. That was a big shot. That's a brilliant shot. And it's not come out well. That's the disappointment, and this is why you're happy to watch your opponent take on a low percentage finish, because he's just played 2 brilliant shots back to back and he is no better.
That's exactly it. I fully agree with what you said. I think if you're Shaun Chipperfield, seeing Jez have a swing at those, you are almost thinking, what, if you get these, fair play, but I'm not minding my chances here.
Agreed.
So he's going to keep on digging here. He has got an angle to move into the red and yellow on the cushion, presuming you can see the red thin enough, which I think he can. Yeah, he's good. He will keep digging here, Jez. He's too far in to turn around now. And he is a man who is so capable of the absolutely mad.
Yeah, where's he going with the final red and how is he getting to it? That would be my question here.
Well, don't worry, it's my question too, but I'm so excited to find out the answer.
Yeah. Okay, he thinks he might be able to get to it now. He's not straight here. He's got a touch of angle. Misses it.
That was some effort. That really was some effort. I don't know how you get close to it from here, though. I really do not.
I'm with you, because if you play the double or the treble, I don't think you can get the cue ball to it. Maybe with the treble. It's pretty close to the treble, but you've got the cue ball nowhere near. And that's the thing. Shaun would have sat there all the way through and just been happy. Yes, every now and then your opponent makes a miracle clearance. He's made this frame a lot easier for him than it was when he walked away from the table after the break.
Yeah, well, he looked so annoyed after making that third golden break. I'm sure he's just pleased to get a bit of table time. Poor guy.
Yeah, all these frames keep winning in one shot. Tough. I promise you though, I mean, obviously he broke dry there in the decider against Shane. I promise you he would take back his 2 golden breaks against him to have a ball off every single break. Not sure if Shaun was purposely trying to leave that yellow on the table or not. Assuming if he was, he'd be trying to get the snooker on this red. He was a little bit short of that. Or is he just happy to leave it on for him?
But Jez lined this up. He knew the cue ball was going to go where it went. So this is just tactic here. Just belt this red and take it for a ride.
Well, top right is an option. Can't believe he's thinking double in the centre. That's so narrow. But top right. Oh, I have no idea. Surely in that situation, you've got to try and get it going towards a pocket somewhere.
Yeah, it almost looked like a tactical shot, didn't it? And, I mean, granted, it's blocked a yellow off on the left rail, but you're not expecting Shaun to have too many problems.
Yeah, it's clearance. I'm with you. If he could have, you know, popped the red into play and, you know, left the cue ball almost no shot, you know, really close to a yellow, maybe, but I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could do that there. Strange choice of shot from Jez. Not entirely sure what he was trying to do. Obviously, he was trying to play a tactical shot.
That's we've been debating that. Shaun has played 2 lovely development shots back to back, just to make things a hair easier. The second of which didn't go completely to plan, but the yellow is maybe a lot more doubleable than it was a minute ago. It's in good shape either way.
Yeah, but he's had the frame 1. Do you really want to be playing the double and gifting a, you know? I mean, he's so good at doubles. You'd expect him to make it. He'd love that to have just popped open though. It'd be over already. We'd already be racking the balls up. That's brilliant. Into it with reverse side off the long cushion. That's brilliant. Could have come out better, in all honesty, but that was still a lovely shot. This is very off angle. Watch it hit the cushion. Side, boom.
Yeah, very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. 2-0 waiting for Shaun Chipperfield. Once again, will have to come from behind. Ultimate full series awaiting us this weekend. We are back on Monday as usual. Christophe Lambert is here, French phenom. Ryan Bassani of Malta. As well as 𝗪𝗁𝗏𝗏, brand new Ultimate Tour Pro for this season. Should be a very tasty one. He throws his arms up as if to say, well, what's that? Come on, the cue ball down. Where's my 8 ball?
The thing with this break so far for Shaun, when he hasn't made a golden break, he has not left a good layout. And obviously, Shane took out a couple of brilliant reverse clearances against him off tough layouts. But the second, well, the first one wasn't a reverse clearance actually, because he played that containing shot to then earn the chance. But it's not as though this break is, I mean, obviously it's difficult to say it's not working for him. He's made 3 golden breaks in what, 6 breaks, but it's not really working for him.
I can understand why you think that's a silly thing to say, but I can also understand what you're trying to say as well. That, by the way, is a contender shot of the night from Jez Graham. So many things happening with that.
If you said to Jez, can you get every single yellow on the table moving in one shot? you wouldn't be able to do it, but he managed it there.
He's basically re-broken one colour set,
That was,
but only one colour set.
that was crazy. And it came out brilliantly. What a shot this is.
1, 2 yellows,
Yeah.
which were nowhere, all of a sudden presentable. That's an amazing shot from Jez Graham. The vision there is incredible.
Yeah, every single yellow on the table and the 8-ball moved. It's an amazing shot. I don't like my layout on yellows. I'm going to move them.
Yeah, nothing else, and still play a pot at the same time. That's magic from
That's
Jez.
off the charts, that.
That's absolutely magic. I said at the start of the night, he simply is one of the most entertaining players to watch. So creative, so talented. He's not done a huge amount wrong tonight. I feel like he's bang up against it to qualify. It's not through lack of trying. Probably deserved more after that first shot, in all honesty. Shaun Chipperfield gets a chance to go 3-0 in front.
Not an easy chance, though. Yes, he's missed the yellow. I think Shaun might have wanted him to make that, where the cue ball's finished and the remaining 2 yellows. And maybe made his life a little bit easier here. But you've got the colour set in terms of you've got the number advantage. Just may not be in this visit. Looks like he is going to take it on, which is interesting.
He's still got the option to pull back if he wants to, but I'm with you. I don't think he's going to.
Does the 8-ball squeeze in looking at that overhead? In which case your right centre can get you on the red on the break line. I think there's enough of the red on the break line showing to be able to play that to top left. That could get you on the 8-ball. Yeah, he's now having a look at it. Does the 8-ball squeeze in? In which case he can just drop this red in and open up the window to the 8-ball later on in the visit.
Is he also a bit wary of this yellow going towards the 8-ball and knocking it in?
Well, I mean, that would be very unlucky. Maybe he wants to do that. Yeah, so he was thinking about playing the 3-ball, the yellow 8-ball yellow, potting the yellow over the pocket and having the 8-ball just sit there. It was an imaginative shot from Shaun, but it's ultimately not worked out.
Now I've got some fun and games.
Yep, indeed.
Game is very much afoot for Shaun Chipperfield and Jez Graham here. Shaun's in a spot.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to get short side on the 8-ball and make a really tough 8-ball along the top cushion. I mean, I don't think the combination towards top right is really an option. I mean, it probably can be made, but it's a much harder shot than just making the 8-ball top left. It's just whether he can get the cue ball there. I think if he'd finished straight in on this red to bottom right, then you'd back him to get there. You'll see he finished with too much angle.
He's got to be so precise with this.
It almost might be easier to play into it than it would be to play on it, because that yellow plays so big. That's why I was saying it might be easier to play into it, because you could kind of play it with more pace, trying to play to that gap, but it really was going to be tough. If the yellow wasn't in the way, you could play a little bit more natural.
Hold on to your hats. Shaun Chipperfield got blues. Just grazed the yellow. It's a pretty good line as well.
Is that one where we have to question Shaun's decision to go? Obviously he's trying to make it happen and felt like he could make a shot, but there was potential. Pot one ball at the bottom and then lay a good snooker.
Potentially.
Well,
I know he's the sort of player who often thinks about this. I just wonder if I don't love that choice of shot.
No, I don't love it for a few reasons. I don't love it because the clock is going to be against him here. Yes, okay, he's not left a shot on here, but surely you've got to be positive and try and clear up there. I know the yellow's on the left-hand side of the pocket, but I thought the long plant was the option.
Oh, he's trying to cut that, which is extraordinary.
But it's about a solid 30, 35 seconds wasted for Ches. Let's see if that comes back to bite him.
Yeah, what I was going to say a moment ago is I wonder if, in Shaun's mind, he's the sort of player who will think about this. And he's got a little bit of scoreboard in his mind as well, I think. He thinks, well, you know, it's 2-0 up. I've maybe got a little bit of margin to go for this. And maybe it's only a 70-30 finish, but play one great shot and I'm in. Shot goes slightly wrong. I'm still going to be ahead.
Yeah, no, I do. I understand that. I just think the yellows were going to be awkward, even if, you know, Jes got out of the snooker. I think he might have ended up with a better opportunity, and obviously then more time gets wasted.
I also think the manner of where the yellows were. He's obviously got the yellow right in the hole, which is an instant pot if it hits.
But the other two are really guarded, so even if he makes the one over the pocket, I don't think he lands on anything.
Maybe, but they were close, so there was a chance that he could, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, but obviously that's the
obviously
decision you've got to make out there as a player. But you know, obviously, we were critical of Jes's decision earlier on, and I'd asked the same question there for Shaun. Was that the right choice of shot?
Four minutes to go. Second shy. Jes Graham. Oh, disaster. Nearly a golden duck, which really would have sort of set the seal on Shaun's night off the break. As bad a break as Jes has hit all night. He's been breaking really well. This is a complete miss hit.
Yeah. Does the yellow go at the top? Looks like it. Yeah, it does. So the yellows aren't too bad here. The one in the middle of the table guarded by two reds. Delicate one into right centre, but good connection to it. It's not too bad. Okay, so he's tried to open up the centre of the table, and that'll do. He's landed on it. That'll do nicely. Might take one to bottom right if it goes. Might take that now. He's going to go to centre pocket.
No other player would play the shot clock like that. That's the point we were making earlier about Chippy's action. It's so quick. He's not even down the shot with when 2 seconds has expired.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage because, like I say, he's got more thinking time. He knows he doesn't have to get down until there's 2 seconds on the clock.
Or less. I think it's barely a second by the time he eventually lowered his chin.
He's played a couple of really good shots here. Double, obviously, the opening shot was a good one, and then the double to get himself open everywhere, and shouldn't be any mistakes from here.
Just doing some calculations with the match clock, just having a little think about it, because if he wanted to, he could rattle these off in no time at all.
I think it is the right thing to do on this occasion because he's got down to around the 2-minute mark to run the clock down. It's just against his nature. Of course, Shaun was one of the first players we saw load the 8-ball up with spin to run the clock down as well. I don't think he'll do that again. It nearly went horribly wrong.
Running the cue ball there wasn't an accident. It'll be a tiny bit annoying that he hit the red and stopped it. Every second counts. That was a tidy finish from Shaun Chipperfield. Always sort of clockwork all the rest of it aside. Just a pure pull finish, that was lovely.
Yeah, the first shot was excellent, wasn't it? The decision making on the first shot. Take the one by the 8-ball because it was slightly awkward. Find a way to get to the bad ball, which he did. And then it was just a case of figuring it out from there, which he's very good at. He's flying around the table again. Just going to be a couple of seconds, just solving a clock issue here. And Shaun doing the right thing. He's not allowed to stay at the table. work out what he wants to do. Has made a ball though, and it's a pretty good layout. Bit of work. My first instinct here was you'd go yellows, but 8-ball passes to top left. There's definitely an argument for reds. The reds themselves are easier than the yellows.
Well, we get all the time in the world. The players get less because they're sat in their chairs, but let's have that debate. So where are you going?
Well, the red at the top of the table would be my starter if the 8-ball goes to top left past the yellow. So you take that one. The reds at the bottom are not a problem at all. So the reds are actually fairly routine. The only ball he's got as a starter is the one up the table. But my first instinct was yellows because I wasn't sure about that 8-ball. So that would be the big question mark. And there you go. You see on the main camera, it definitely goes. I think reds are the way here. See if Shaun agrees.
I think that tells us your answer. Great chance then. Chippy to go and win the match, even with 9 seconds left. He's going to do the absolute right thing and just take his time over the shots.
Yeah, of course he didn't even have to worry about working out a pattern. Reds were definitely the right thing for running the clock down. They're a much easier layout, and all you've got to do is make a few reds to win the match.
That was something you don't see a lot of. We actually talked to Chippy about that earlier on tonight, just off camera. When he's down a shot and realigns himself, it's because he's not quite lined the shot up correctly. And you can see that on the shot. He completely switched it around to line it up another way. Now he's in full kill mode. He feels the finish is there.
Yeah, he started off running the clock down, didn't he? And then he realised actually these are so, so perfect for him. Let's just make the finish and get out of there.
This to ask the question then for Shaun Chipperfield. He needed to win this game, and he has won this game. Only Shane Thompson can stop him, but it is in Shane's hands. Final match against Andy Williams coming up. We bid farewell to Jes Graham. A brilliant performance from Jes tonight. Plenty of positive signs heading into the series weekend for him. But for Shaun Chipperfield, he will be guaranteed a 6-red shootout if Shane Thompson is beaten in our next match. For Shane, it's win or draw and through, and that match is next.